My name is Hugh Conrad, and I'm reading a poem by Miroslaw Rogala called The Flowers of Withheld Presence. If there was no presence, where would the past go? If there was an eye blank, where would it go on a highway? If there was no gesture, what would we do with our arms? If there is a possibility, what would forward, rewind? If there is no simplicity, if there was no eye blink, what would it be to just happen? If there is a past, where would we email the future? If there is no gesture, where would our memories be storied? If there was a possibility, can we count the black holes in the universe? If there was an ability, if there were no mind blinks, where would it all live? If there was no gesture, what would it do to our arms? If there was no possibility, what would it be with our warming smiles? If there is a possibility, of how could we tie our shoes with no arms? If there were no eye blinks, what would happen to our smiles? Yes? No? If there is an impossible truth, I was there for you. Don't ask me how. Art compensates for morality. No. Yes? If there was no art, what would it do to our embracing arms? If there was a possibility, what would it be with our bitter hearts? If there was no simplicity, if there was no eye blink, what would it be? If there was no gesture, what would we do with our embracing arms? No. Yes? If there was no possibility, what would it be with no black holes in the universe? If there was no ability, but there was a heart blink, what would it be? If there was a possibility, what would it be with our cold hands? If there was no impossibility, how could we tie our shoes with no arms? If there were no airplanes, how could we invent birds? If there are no bitter searching for hearts, how can we forget? If there were no flowers, how could we die?